Well, hey there, Internet people, and welcome to Greenwing Gaming. If you're watching this, you've stumbled into my own tiny corner of the internet where we get to talk about miniature wargaming. And I do mean welcome, because this is actually the first video on the channel, as I'm sure you'll be able to tell, but I wanted it to serve as kind of an introduction both to myself, the channel, and what you can expect to see here. Don't worry, I'll try to keep the talk about myself to a minimum. But as for what we're going to be talking about, well, like I said, miniature wargaming, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about mostly Games Workshop products, things like 40K, 30K, Kill Team, that kind of stuff. For a couple of reasons, the first being that that's just what I play, and I don't think you guys need to see yet another person talking about something they're completely uninformed on. There's the rest of the internet for that. But the other being that Games Workshop is the biggest company in the industry. They give us the most to talk about. Now, for those of you that are maybe not huge Games Workshop fans, don't worry, there will be other games talked about on the channel, just not nearly as frequently as the Games Workshop stuff. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, how are we going to be talking about it? Well, the current plan is to have 2 uploads a week, Mondays and Fridays. The Friday videos are pretty straightforward. They're just going to be gameplay. For the first few weeks, it's going to be a single-player game known as Rangers of Shadowdeep, purely because I'm new to the whole YouTube game, and the idea of adding a second person with a second microphone is making the little gerbil in my head spin really fast in its wheel. It's kind of causing my brain to melt. So as soon as I figure out the second microphone, we'll start seeing more actual 40K and stuff like that. Until then, Rangers of Shadowdeep is actually a pretty fun single-player game, and if you guys know any other single-player games, I would love to hear about it. You know, that's what a comment section is for, so let me know. But yeah, that's what Friday is going to be, gameplay. As for Monday, that's where this gets a little more conversational, because Monday is going to be the hobby discussion side of the channel. That's going to be where we talk about anything from the latest updates to a game to faction breakdowns, strategy tips, just general hobby advice. Things like how to start your next faction, how to get into Warhammer in the first place. Why do I feel qualified talking about that? Well, this is where we get to talking about me a little bit. Again, I promise I'll keep it brief. But I've been in the hobby for about 20 years now, and I certainly don't consider myself an expert, but I have picked up a few things, and I've seen how some of the amazing communities on the mini wargaming side of YouTube have formed, and I think it's pretty fantastic. So if I can provide helpful information to even a few of you out there, that would be great, and I'm sure you guys are going to have more than a few bits of advice for me. I look forward to hearing it. At the time that this video is up, there should already be the first hobby discussion video on the channel, so I would really appreciate it if you guys could go check that out. In the meantime, if you could maybe consider hitting the like button. If you like what you heard about what the channel is going to be about, maybe consider subscribing. It's free, and it helps me praise Algorithmo. He is a fickle god. But other than that, I would love to see you guys on any of the other videos that are up on the channel. I'd love to talk to you in the comments. And in the meantime, happy wargaming.
Onward to glory!